Hello, and welcome to Yarn Engineers podcast. My name is Greta, and I come to you from Vilnius, Lithuania, where I live with my husband, with my dog, and me, of course, and where I knit, where I work, where I dream about my better life and smaller stash of yarn, which may never come true. Because my second hobby is buying yarn after knitting. So here we are. I will try to present what I have done, what I have finished, what I've started in the month of January for 2024. And without, further introduction, maybe we can start. Of course, I have my cup of coffee. I'm not sure if you can see, it's half full. It's a very strong black coffee. I would like to say that I was very good last year and Santa brought me a coffee machine. So since I have a very good coffee machine, I decided to buy coffee beans instead of already grounded coffee. And it turns out that coffee is so good that I don't need sugar and I barely need milk with my coffee. So yeah, new me. Anyway, yeah, I had my sip and we can start podcasting. And the general way how it works. So the elephant in the room is my first finished object for the January. It is a Lisbo sweater made by Elise, designed by Elise, made by me. I used drops alpaca in colors tomato, red, some kind of red, dark red, and the last one was light pearl, the gray one. I have color work on my yoke. The whole yoke basically is color worked, and I have a little bit of color work on my wrists. I love this sweater. It looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous on me, at least I think so. I will add a picture here because I had a little photo shoot in the nearest forest. It was -5 outside. You can tell that by my chin and cheeks that were all red because it was cold and I was dog walking. And with the sweater I wasn't cold at all, even though I had like a tee underneath, short sleeved, and I had sweater only and I wasn't cold at all. So it is amazing. I used more than no, I'm lying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 balls of light gray. So it's 250 grams. And I would like to say that around 50 grams for the yoke, for all the color work. And I did yoke part color work on, I'm touching all the fluff. Yeah, so I did color work part on 4mm needles, 3.75 on the whole body, and 3.5 for all the ribbings, neck, sleeves, and the bottom. Now I really want the weather to get cold because that's the only way I can wear this monster, I would say, masterpiece monster, because it is very warm and it is too warm basically to go to the office with it. It has to be really cold outside, and now it's not. It's around -1 and I can just wear this one and nothing else and I'm good to go. Yeah, so it is totally amazing. Oh, and by the way, I used additional basically cobweb weight yarn with this because I was a little bit worried at the beginning that the alpaca may get very loosely. And so to get the proper gauge, because I got the gauge on 4mm needles, but it was very loosely, and for a wintry sweater I really wanted to be a bit thicker material. So it has one strand of very lacy merino with this. I don't know where I can show you a little. No, I did weaved all of my ends so nicely that there is nothing to show you. Oh, maybe right here on my color work on the sleeve. Let me show you. apparently I have some loose ends, and you can see that I have this lace, and I have alpaca with this. So everywhere it is like two-stranded, but it's not like it doesn't bother. I really love this way, and it's very warm. So I think at some point in the middle of my podcast I may just switch wearing stuff, because it would be too hot for me. Yeah, so that was the first one, and then and this was a testnet, and then the hell broke loose for testnets. I have two right now, and I left one with somewhere. Let me grab everything that I have now. So it turns out I have so much stuff that I completely forgot. Anyway, I have two testnets ongoing. I had finished this one, and I have applied for the next one, but I'm not sure if I will be accepted. It will be the designer will let people know on February 2nd or around that time. We're not there yet. Who will be accepted, who will not, and I may have 3 testnets ongoing at once. Yeah, I know, I'm a little bit crazy, but the last one that I applied is very big gauge. Let's say it's around 15 stitches per 10 centimeters, so based on my size, it should run quite quickly. So we will see. Okay, and then maybe we can continue with finished objects. So, if you remember, I forgot one more finished object. 2 of them. When I sat down here to podcast for you today, I felt like I was so well prepared and everything, and it turns out I'm not. So, where should I start with my finished objects? Because it turns out I have quite few. Not very big ones, but I have quite few. So, if you remember, maybe I showed it to you that I was knitting a sweater for my husband. I finished it in the middle of December, but December was all the Vlogmas, and I completely forgot to show you how it turned out. So it turned out amazingly. It fits my husband very well. This is the sweater. There it is. My husband already wore it a few times. It is also like as warm as a polar bear. And he told that, yeah, he needs some colder weather to fit and to suit him. For this one, I used, I think, half a kilo of merino wool. It is the same merino wool that I used here as well for the yoke, for the red parts. But for this one, it's completely done out of it, and with the one strand of Tatiana's yarn. That's how I call it. I don't know what brand it is. It has cashmere, merino, a little bit of synthetics, to get things used. And yeah, this is Arna's Pretty Garter sweater by Stephen West. I made size M, I think, with a few adjustments because I had to make a few decreases just on the body for my husband to fit it better. I think you maybe even can see these. Maybe this one is here, and one is maybe right here somewhere. But when he's wearing it, it's totally invisible. So yeah, this is the sweater, very well loved. I hope it will be good taken care of because I will wash it. And yeah, that's the one from the last year. Then on New Year's Eve, of course, I finished one more project, which was from a testnet from local designer from Lithuania, Ruta, and she made these amazing winter forest socks. I'll show you one, and I add a picture maybe. So pattern has these amazing trees going across the leg and the foot part. I made 4 trees for my size. Let me try to show that to you. Yeah. You know, they were blocked and now they have this crazy breaking point, but it will be fine. I have 4 trees. My socks turned out to be mid-calf. I used all of the merino wool that I had bought in Czech Republic, and I have this bigger ribbing, which I can then, you know, fold it, and it looks very nice for me. Little to say. Yeah, so a pair of socks. These are basically 100 grams, 50 grams each. And yeah, that's it. It's a size 37 US, I don't know, US size 4, maybe 5. I'm sorry, I don't know American English sizes. These are European 37-ish. Yeah, so these 2 are basically from the last year, and I completely forgot to show them to you. I'm very sorry, but I'm not sorry anymore. And this one is my first thing for 2024. And we can move forward. What else I have finished? If you remember, from my previous video, I showed you what I am bringing to like 2024. And I have already crossed out one of the thingies. It's my hat. The yarn is from Tandem from Stephen West that I got as a gift last spring, and I use it. And I made a hat, and I love the hat. So it's my second version of this hat, because the first one was very, very big and was too big for me. As you can see, this one fits me very well. It's a no pattern. It's a free-handed because I haven't found, or actually I had not enough time to search for the proper pattern. I made it top down. I've started at the center. I increased a lot on basically every 2 out of 3 rows were increases. Then there was one just knit according to stitches, and then I increased again. And once I had proper increase size, I just dropped it down, and I did 2x2 ribbing, 2x2 invisible Italian, let's say, cast off. So yeah, it is truly basically invisible. It doesn't want to focus. Yeah, here we are. So 2x2, and I love this hat. It really matches my Stephen West shawl for the last year that I made. It has orange, and my coat is yellow, so the shawl matches my coat, and you know, I'm all matched girl right now in winter. So yeah, and for this one I used 70 grams on 3mm needles, and the leftover I am using for my current work in progress, that is Verena mittens. Yeah, finished object number 2 for 2024. Popped. Now, what else have I finished? Okay, I think I told you last time that one of my colleagues' wife was expecting a baby, so the baby's here, and I made a tiny gift for the baby, my classy alien rabbit. This one it's in pink because it's a girl, and I sewn the white eyes for the rabbit. Currently it looks a little bit like off, but actually it was sewn properly and everything was stitched. I just don't know what happened with it. But I think the baby will not mind. It is still very cute. It is filled with already used yarn inside. And this is the alien rabbit. I don't know how much yarn I used for that because I don't remember. And for these small projects, I usually don't wait. Usually I need around 50 grams, but it actually depends on the yarn. Sometimes it is a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less. I don't know. Maybe the weather affects my crochet tension. Yeah, so FO number 3. In the meantime, I had one more finished object. It was a neck warmer for my aunt, but I don't have it, and unfortunately I knitted it so quickly I don't have any pictures of it. So sorry, but it's just for me. I will cross out all my home mediti yarn. Finally, I am totally done with it, for I hope for the rest of my life, because I like to buy the yarn for myself, by myself, and not to be gifted by someone and then I don't know what to use it for. So I think I have one more finished object to show you. Yes, I think only one. This year, in our local one of our local knitting groups in a Facebook, I found an ad. I'm sorry for the noise. I found an ad that maybe someone would like to join for Box of Socks 2024. So basically, I was first in the row to join them, and we had quite some tasks to fill in. To have the multiple different socks, whatever. And for this, for the month of January, the requirements were the color should be winter related for the socks. It has to have Italian cast on, and it has to have a cable 3x3. So at the beginning, I was thinking that I would design a sock myself, something like cables or waves or something. And then, as you all already know, I have a dear friend named Donute, and she showed me a very nice pattern, and it included 3x3 cables. And of course I use it, and I have a nice pair of socks. Here they are. They are already blocked. They are put in the box because they are finished. And it includes 3x3 socks, cables, see? And I really like the motif that, you have bigger and smaller portions between crosses. It has Italian cast on. Actually, it's a cast off. I added my nicely German short row heel. And that's it. And all of those, cables turns out into just the plain lines on the foot part. So these are again size 37. It has 64 stitches, and the color, as you see, it's not like Snow White, but here in Lithuania we use a lot of sand or rocky sand. We're plowing these on the streets, to avoid slipness. And the snow after some time turns like this sandy white color, and I used this one for my socks. So my last finished object, and I think we can move to all of the tests, and maybe not. And then I have one acquisition. It was an oops, and I got an acquisition. So let's say I will start with the two smaller ones because they are quick and not so much to talk about. So I have these two test knits, which are garments. They are sweaters, and they are already quite big to transport. One is quite too big already, and the second one has lace, and it is not very easy, to transport and knit it without thinking. Let me get my coffee. So I decided, and yesterday we had this knitters brunch, and I decided that none of my test knits are okay to bring with me to this knitting meeting, and I had to have something else. My first cast on was a shawl. I thought maybe I can bring a shawl because I really want to start a shawl again. It's been ages since I've knitted proper lace shawl. So I have this much started, like this much. Let me help you to show that. This much. It is not even one leaf. I have this, this is setup section, and I started one of the repeats. I will need 7 of these, which you can't see at this moment because it is like, see the size? But I used Alize Ombre Batik something, this yarn, and I started, I think, 2 shawls at least with this one, and I hope the last one that I casted on right now will stick and I will finish with this one. But by the time I did this much, I figured out that I won't be able to knit any row without mistakes in this knitting branch. So I needed something way more easy, and I hope I brought the correct, yeah, I brought the correct bag. I have this, as usual, Beach Bodies bag. So I have started mittens, and I use, this is the leftover of Stephen West yarn. I have at this moment this much. I have just started palm increases. Where are the increases? Yeah, okay. Not sure if you will be able to see, but there are a few increases already done. And I will have Verena mittens that I have tested early spring 20, or maybe it was still winter 2023 for low-key ball knits. And actually I figured out that the pattern quite matches my hat. And so yeah, Verena mittens, this is my 3rd pair. I made woman size small, man size large, and now I'm doing basically baby size because I'm using, actually the stitch count are for baby size or child, and I am using just a little bit thicker yarn and thicker needles, and I saw that, you know, I can still fit my wrist, so it will be good. No problem for better knitter, for the best knitter. Yeah, so I have that much, and I did a little bit, well, maybe this much in yesterday's brunch. So I'm really happy. And I had so much fun in the brunch. I spoke with many ladies, saw many knits, got a lot of inspiration. I have this Google Keep on my phone, which I'm filming on, with all of my wishes that I would really like to start knitting. So I increased a little bit more of that, unfortunately, but oh well, what you can do. And now my 2 big test knits. So the first one is the one that I am currently working on very prolifically, and I will add a picture how it will be in the nearest future. Oops, let me fix the yarn. So this is Glitch Sweater by, again, Simona, Low-Key Ball Knits. That's how it looks, yeah. So I have this much at this moment. It looks like this. And already looks like this. I have basically, I think, half of the body done. And I will continue working with it today. And I have all whole sleeves to do. Hopefully also, not today, but in the nearest future. At this moment, I am using my yarn advent from the tunic, from Yarn Advent 2023. So it is merino silk for the colorful part, for the colorful stripes, and for the white stripes I am using, again, the big skein from the same Yarn Advent with a strand of mohair, and yeah, these are the colors. And these are all the stripes. I have some more green stripes in the back, and I have this amazing like back stripe here. It is one of the design features, and it will have a very special pattern for the ribbings for the neck sleeves once I'm done, and for the body. So I am still thinking if I will have enough yarn. I have this much left. That is all that I have from the main skein, but I have some merino silk left from my 2022 Stephen West Twists and Turns. It is the same yarn, same dyer, just, you know, different colors. I am using 4mm needles, and I hope that I will be able to match everything and do a proper glitch sweater as a test for Simona. So that is my first one. I really love it, and it will be gifted actually for my mother-in-law because she really liked it when she saw this few days ago. So this is one, and the last one is another test knit that I got accepted unexpectedly a little bit. I don't have much, but as I mentioned, this one includes lace, and I am a little bit afraid to lose everything. So this one will be Chateau Sweater by Maiden Knitwear. Sorry, it is a bottom-up construction. I am a little bit terrified about that, but things are going quite smoothly. I have this much now. I have almost 2 pattern repeats. I've started the second. I'm basically at the end of the second pattern repeat. I will need to do some increases now for my bust, and then you know, some rows for front and back, and then a little bit puffy balloony sleeves. So this is how it looks. I am using again Tatiana's yarn. That is, I don't know what is the actual make of the yarn. I know it's a little bit of cashmere, a little bit of wool, maybe some alpaca. It's a mix of everything, but it is very soft, it is very warm, it doesn't bite, or you know, it is not rustic at all, and it really nicely shows up all the bubbles, lace stuff, and cables. So that's basically the main thing why I chose this yarn, and that is worked on 4mm again as well. And I think that is it from what I have. Where should I put it? I'll put it here. Whatever. This one is not very actively worked out at this moment because I need to finish Glitch Sweater first. It has a due date that is earlier. And yeah, so that's how things work. And the last thing that I wanted to show you were my acquisitions. I have actually only one in this big box, but it's very light, even though there's a lot of yarn. So when I was knitting this sweater, I figured out that at the end I will not have enough yarn for it, because I had 4 balls of this light gray and I needed around 5 to say the least. So I bought some extra drops alpaca, and alpaca told me that it needs some friend to come with, and there was a sale for drops, and I brought 10 balls of drops here. And Leaky needles. Leaky needles I bought because I really want to try them. I think I haven't showed them to you. So yeah, Leaky blush 3.25mm needles, a cable, and 10 balls of yarn. So it was 12 balls. I'm still thinking to do maybe a champagne cardigan with this yarn, or maybe some kind of funny fluffy cardigan, because the yarn is very puffy. Well, you know, it drops here. It is this thick and it is amazing. I can't wait to work with it, but all of my test knits that I currently have prohibits me to work on stuff that I would really like to work, like all of those 10,000s of the my knits from my wish list. Anyway, that is all. I know I spoke basically without a stop, but that's how things work for me usually. I basically never prepare for my podcasts. I remember that I wanted to tell you something about Woolly Worker, and that I participated in her 12-hour stream. It was really nice. It was very fun to watch her and her boyfriend Ross, how they, you know, managed it. She had very nice guests. She had nice discounts, gifts, etc. But I only watched. I just had fun with my knit. And yeah, I think that is it at the moment. I spoke for 30 minutes. Now I will need to edit a little bit. Then I will need to add pictures of the stuff that I haven't got, or just to show you. And yeah, thank you for staying with me for 30 minutes, or maybe a little bit more. It is really nice for me. I really feel that now I really like making podcasts. I'm not sure if I would make more because that takes time from my knitting. You know, an hour of knitting a day. But I'll see what I can do, you know, to make things nicer. So that's that. Thank you for watching. Share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one in the month at the end of February. So bye.